Okay, what I asked you guys to have is a notebook or a piece of paper close by. So if you have your notebook, show it to me. And I also want you to have some sticky notes. And if you don't have sticky notes, then just draw a little rectangle, and when you get sticky notes, then that's what you'll write on your sticky note, okay? So a couple of questions before I get into my whole spiel, and I'll just be honest, I'm a little bit fired up. I had a lot of people send me messages today that just made me reflect and think on a lot of things, and so that's kind of where this team call has come from. So we always do this every year, and if you don't do it, then that's kind of weird. But we always, at the end of the year, we reflect on our year, and then we set new goals for next year. Okay. And if you've never done this before, then you get to do it now. And so I want you to take a second to reflect on the goals that you set for yourself last year. And did you hit them? And all I want you to do is write maybe, if you set 3 goals and you got all 3, then put 3 out of 3 in the chat. If you set yourself 5 goals and you got 3 out of 5, then write 3 out of 5. Whatever your number is. If you didn't set yourself any goals, then you can just write no goals, but this year will be different. If you set yourself 1 goal and you hit it, then do 1 out of 1. Okay, so in the chat, write down your numbers. Okay, so a lot of people didn't set any goals, which is perfectly fine. Thanks for being honest. Some of us hit them. It looks like the majority of us, let's see, Chelsea set herself 6 goals. The rest of us are about 1, 2, 3, or 4 goals. So keeping it close to one hand. Okay, so I looked up statistics, and it says 80% of people fail at their goals by February. So 4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe up to 8 weeks, 80% of people haven't followed through with their goals. And so when I look at this, we are, a lot of us, more than 50% on our goals to 100%, which is really awesome, which shows dedication, commitment, consistency, and a willpower. So real quick, you guys that completed your goals, you don't have to share what they were if you don't want to, but if you want to just share in the chat, how did you hold yourself accountable, or how did you make sure that you accomplished your goals? So my goal, I'll just share my 2 goals. My goal last year, where I'll share 3 goals. My number 1 goal was to hit Ambassador Diamond by December 31st of 2018. So if y'all could make that happen in the next 4 days, I need a presidential, a triple, 2 doubles, and a diamond, okay? Because I really want to be 3 for 3. But I'm okay with swallowing my pride, because obviously I didn't grow into the leader that I needed to be yet for that to happen. But Ambassador Diamond by December 2018 was 1 goal. My second goal was that I wanted to pay $6,000 on my car. And so every single It Works check that I got this year, I put $500 into my savings account. And yesterday I paid $6,000 on my car. So I'm super excited about that. And then my third goal was this in September of 2 years ago. So not this last September, but 2 Septembers ago. I finally lost that last 15 pounds that I was fighting for. And my goal this year was to not put the weight back on. That was one of my biggest fears, is once I got my surgery, that I would put my weight back on. And I'm happy to say that until 2 days ago, I did not put the weight back on. And for some reason, I weighed myself this morning and I gained 5 pounds in the last 2 days. I don't know how that happened, but I'm cleansing. Well, I'm not cleansing right now because my body is literally gut wrenching itself from the inside out right now, but I plan to do a cleanse soon. And I've started eating healthy again and exercising. And so I would say I'm 2 out of 3 on my goals. So were you guys able to share what you did? Okay, so you guys that hit your goals, 1 out of 1, 2 out of 2, 20 out of 20, you kind of just share how, and even 4 out of 6, how did you make sure that you hit your goals? Or were they just goals that you knew that you would hit? Were they stretch goals? Okay, I want to hear from you guys a little bit. So you can either unmute yourself or you can type it in.
I want to go.
Go ahead, Tay.
So I actually hit a lot of my goals and then I let them all go. So I'm kind of different in trying to keep it together. How do you explain it? So my number one goal was to get off drugs and start my business back up. And I did that. And I did it better than I could have ever imagined. And I did a lot of really good things with it. And then I let it all go. But my goal this year is to not let it go. And to follow through with what I say I'm going to do and everything that I do. But how I did it, sorry, I'm probably getting off topic and I'm really emotional. But you guys have to find that fire. You just have to know why you want it, why you want that goal. And you have to let that be exactly what pushes you through to the very end. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today a little bit. So I'm just going to get into it. My goal every year is just to make it through the year live. That counts. Dee said her doctor helped keep her accountable, which that is great, you guys, finding that accountability partner, someone to keep you accountable in what you're doing. And I know I use Facebook all of the time. If I say I'm going to do something for 30 days, I post about it every day for those 30 days because I don't know who's watching, but they're waiting for me not to post about it. So finding it, however you need to be held accountable is really, really awesome. And then I like what Trixie said, setting a number. Okay, like then you know whether you did it or not and having a way to keep track of it. Consistency and accountability is key. Okay, so on your piece of paper, I want you, or on your sticky note, you guys, this is really cool. Okay, so on your sticky note, I want you to write down what your biggest paycheck is going to be from It Works in the year 2019. I want you to write down that number, what your biggest paycheck from It Works is going to be in the year 2019, and I want you to write it on the sticky note. Because if you don't have a sticky note, draw a little box on your piece of paper. When you get a sticky note, then you're gonna put it there. Okay, so write down your number. Okay, you don't have to share this number with anybody. Okay, but you are going to put this sticky note somewhere where you go every single day and look at it. So for me, that is my bathroom mirror. Just going to hang my sticky note right up on my bathroom mirror. Okay, now looking at this number, you guys, I would be very surprised to know if any of us had the exact same number or not. But why did we choose this number? Okay, like what made us choose this number? And some of us are gonna have smaller numbers than other people. And why? Some of us thought of a number and we said, oh yeah, that would be awesome. But I'm just gonna write down 2,000 because that seems better. Some of us, maybe not even 2,000, maybe like 500, maybe 127. Like I don't know what number you guys wrote down. But that number is a reflection of you and your confidence in yourself and your confidence in this business, whatever number that is. And there's no reason why you can't hit the number that you wrote down. There's no reason why you can't hit it, but you have to grow into that person that's going to give you that paycheck. And I've done this business for almost 4 years now, and I have set goals, and I put sticky notes all over my entire house. And you can ask anybody in the world if I've been consistent working my business every single day since the day I signed up. I have never taken a day off in 4 years. So the number that's sitting on my sticky note, I feel like I've earned. I feel like I deserve. But I'm not the leader that I need to be, or I need to grow more, or I need to do more, or I need to just give it more time before this number is going to happen. And in 2019, I'm going to do everything that it possibly takes to get this number. And when I get it, then I'm going to show you guys that it's possible. And I hope that when you guys get your number, that you show me that it's possible too. Because I know as a team that we can do anything that we put into the universe, that we set our minds to do, that we're willing to work for. So I just wanted to share on this team call a little bit about my story. I've never shared it completely in full depth, but I feel like this is a really good time for me to share it with you because of the messages that I've gotten today. So when I first heard about It Works, it was March of 2014, and my friend from high school, her name was Kristen, and she was my friend. She actually I lived in a cul-de-sac, and I could see her living room window straight from my living room window. Like, we literally lived across the street, but we weren't really friends because she was this petite, blonde-haired girl that was so fun, so full of life and energy, and loved to dance. And for me, I loved to dance until my best friend looked at me one day and said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm dancing." And she's like, "Oh." I literally faked an ankle injury and never danced again. That's just a little side note there, okay? But anyway, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm calling her my friend because I always wanted to be her friend. And there's no reason why I couldn't have been, but I always wanted to be her friend. And I didn't have confidence in myself to feel like I deserved a friend that was so gorgeous and so outgoing. So anyway, she started the business in March of 2014, and I remember this because she posted a before and after picture, just a really salesy, spammy before and after picture on her page. I remember I was sitting in bed with Derek. Like, this is how much it is engraved in my brain 4.5 years later. I was sitting in bed with Derek, and I showed him the before and after picture. I'm like, yeah, right. That would never happen. And I had just had Beckham the November before, and this was March, so I was still looking 5 months pregnant. And she showed this amazing before and after picture, and I was like, no. The only way you're going to get results is if you eat healthy and you exercise. It's the only way. And so I signed up for a half marathon that summer. I ran 20 or more miles every single week, all summer long. I started the summer at 172. After I ran my half marathon, I ended the summer at 172. I remember the numbers. Like, this is completely etched to my brain for life because it worked. I watched her all summer long. She didn't quit. She didn't give up. And when she first asked me if I wanted to try products, because eventually I ended up liking one of her posts, and then she messaged me, and I was like, crap, what did I just do? She messaged me, asked me if I wanted to try products, and I was like, no, thanks. Like, I just don't do those kinds of things. I'm good. But honestly, I did do those kinds of things because I was going to GNC and getting all of these different products. I was going to Walmart. I was trying to find anything that I could take that would help me lose weight and help me look good, because after you have your first baby, it's hard to love yourself again. Like, your body just doesn't work. And my after pregnancy was the worst. Like, I was not even fully healed for almost a year after I had Beckham. So just not loving myself. Well, I was teaching school at the time. It was September. So I messaged her and I said, just give me whatever you have for weight loss. I would not give her my credit card, you guys. I refused to give her my credit card. I was one of those people. So I went online. I put 3 bottles of Thermofite into the cart, and I checked out for over $100 for 3 bottles of Thermofite, because that's what I thought you had to do for the 3-month commitment. So then she had to call customer service the next day, which now I know, what a disaster. And anyway, I got my Thermofite. I tried it. It worked. I lost 10 pounds my first month. I was like, this is super awesome. I let my next 2 bottles sit on the counter. I never touched them again until later. But after I finished my 3 months, she messaged me in November and said, would you ever consider doing the business? I immediately told her no. I said, no way. I'm not interested. Like, I have a good job. I'm not interested. Being a math teacher was something that I always wanted to do. Since 10th grade, I wanted to be a high school math teacher. I had my dream job. I was going to just work this business, or I was going to work teaching math forever. Over Thanksgiving break, I went with my sister down to Utah, and we went to her house and picked up a wrap. I saw amazing results with my very first wrap, and I was like, oh my gosh, this really works. And in the back of my head, I just kind of thought to myself, maybe I could do this business. Maybe I could make a little bit of extra money. And then Christmas break hit. And that's why I feel like this is really relevant, because this time, exactly 4 years ago, I was fighting with myself. I was saying, am I really going to do this business? I really hate my job. Like, I literally was crying because I didn't want to check my email. I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to stay home with Beckham. Like, I did not like my life. And nobody else would have known that from the outside, because it probably looked perfect. We had just moved into a brand new house that we built. Me and Derek, we had been divorced, and then we got remarried again, and we had a really good marriage. Like, nobody would have ever known, but like, I literally had the worst anxiety and dreaded going to work every single day. And so I talked to Derek over Christmas break, and we said, if I could just make $50 extra a month, I could try the products that I wanted, and I could contribute a little bit towards bills if I made anything more. If I could just make $50 a month, then I can quit my job at the end of this year, and we'll just really work hard to pay off as much debt or as much bills as we can. So then that way, when we only earn one income, then we'll be good to go. So it was on December 31st. I mean, I was thinking about it this whole time from after Christmas to December 31st. We were at my mother-in-law's house, and it was 10 o'clock at night. And I went into her bedroom. I hurried and put my information in, and I got signed up the night, or December 31st at 10 p.m. at night. Well, for those of you that know about this business, the month that you sign up, you're automatically commission qualified. So I was commission qualified for 1 hour. And on January 1st, they launched anybody who goes Ruby in their first 2 months gets a $500 bonus. And I was like, suck. I signed up 1 hour too soon, and now I can't earn that bonus. And I was like, so devastated for like a minute. And I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. I literally signed up to make $50, so I'm going to make $50. So I just started working my business. I did what my enroller told me to do. She's like, watch this training video. I watched a training video. I said, done. What's next? She said, make this post. I made this post. I said, okay, what's next? Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I just did what she told me to do. And then what I learned about 2 weeks in the business is that she had no idea what she was doing. And you guys, remember, Kristen signed up March of 2014. I was her very first distributor that she ever signed. 10 months into the business, she was consistent every single day working her business. So when I was finally ready, 10 months later, I went to her. And how many people do you know that have signed up and already left within a week? Some people within a month, within 6 months. Okay, when you look at this team call now and the team call that I had 6 months ago, half of it's brand new. You guys, it takes time, and it takes that value. I watched her post about how she was making money from home. She had all of these friends. She was looking better than ever before, and our kids are the same age. And I wanted that. And I watched her for 10 months before I was ready to do it. But anyway, within 2 weeks, I kind of realized that she didn't really have any idea what she was doing. I would send her a message, and it would take her like a few hours to get back to me. And I found out that she was just going to our other upline leader and asking her. And so I kind of, I needed to level up, if you will. And so I just started going to my double diamond leader and asking my double diamond leader questions. And I was on every team call that I possibly could be on. And keep in mind, during this time, I was teaching math. I didn't have a prep hour because they needed me to teach an extra class. I was pregnant with Paisley, and my pregnancies are the worst. I am sick for all 9 months. You guys that have been pregnant know you're just tired, exhausted. I was also coaching soccer. And so my days went from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. every night. And at 7 p.m., I played with Beckham for an hour. By 8, I'd grade papers. I'd get lesson plans ready. I'd work my business for a little bit. I'd work it on my lunch hour, and I would do the same thing every single day. And on the weekends, traveling for soccer, half the time here in Wyoming, we don't have service. So I'd message Kristen and I'd say, hey, like, I'm not going to have service at all today, and we've got soccer all day long, so I'm not going to be able to make posts. Will you tag me in a post this afternoon so that way I have something on my wall? And she was more than happy to do it. But I found a way to make it work. I went Ruby in my 2 months, and I did not earn a $500 bonus from the company. However, my upline did give me an incentive of her own that she created because she felt bad. And then I got Derek Ruby within his 2 months, and he earned a $500 bonus. And that's when I started paying my car payment. And I was like, I signed up to make $50 and this is working. And what if Derek said if I continue to pay my car payment, then I could get a new car? And I was like, that would be amazing. So, you know, I just kind of like leveled up my goals as I grew in the business. And by the end of May, my checks were about $800 being paid as an Emerald. And I told Derek, they came out with these $10,000 good bonuses. I said, if I can go diamond and earn one of these $10,000 bonuses, I will be able to replace my teacher income and we won't have to change our lifestyle at all. As I said, I got to go to work though. And at the end of May, it's like chaos for teachers because you're finishing up school. And so at the end of May, I just kind of set up as much as I could. And then June, I hit it so hard. I worked this business for 8 hours a day, nonstop, tried everything that I possibly could. I was on YouTube, Googling how to send customers, how to boost volume, how to do this, how to do that. And at the end of June, I was about 2,000 volume short from hitting diamond. And I was bummed, but I was like, that's okay. My check is still bigger than it's ever been before. And in July, they announced that they were going to extend it one more month. And so July, same thing, and made it happen. And I got my last teacher check in July of 2015, and my It Works check was almost the exact same, which was just a miracle, just knowing that, like, you can do it in this business. And time doesn't have to be an issue. Your experience doesn't have to be an issue. There is so much experience on this team and in this business and on the internet that you can be successful by what you decide to do with it. So I kind of took a few notes. A couple of things. So I went diamond in 7 months, and then I went double diamond in 13 months. So that next year I went to conference, which was my first year at conference, and totally changed my life, changed my business. And then I went double diamond in February of 2016, double diamond in 2016. And I think, well, let me back up a little bit. So I went diamond in July, and August, things were going great. And then September, I almost lost it. I realized that I didn't know anybody. Here I am, a diamond leader, and I didn't know half of my team because other people that got enrolled underneath me, I didn't message them. I didn't build relationships with them. I didn't really talk to them because I thought that their person that they enrolled them was taking care of them. And I kept in contact with my people. And so then in September, I'm realizing, hey, people are quitting and I'm going to lose this. And so I reached out to everybody on my team and started talking to them, but it was too late. People that had signed back in March, April, May, June, underneath other distributors that got placed in my downline, I never had a relationship with them. And so for me messaging them, being like, hey, what can I do to help you work your business? They were like, oh, I'm not doing it anymore because their upline quit on them. So then they were quitting. And that happens all of the time, you guys. Uplines quit. Downlines quit. But what matters is if you quit. Like, so many people get discouraged that their downline's quitting, and so then they quit. How does that make you any better than anybody on your team? It doesn't. And those people that came in and then left, you won't believe how many of them come back and want to work the business again because you were consistent, because you showed that it's okay to keep working through tough times. I have people that I didn't sign that will come back and want to sign with me because of being consistent and because of not quitting when your upline quits. So a little tip for you guys is when you're a diamond leader, know your whole team. build relationships with everyone, even if they're not your personally enrolled. That's something I really wish that I would have done differently, because here it is September. I had just earned my diamond bonus 2 months ago, and I had to rebuild, and I had to rebuild quick so that I didn't lose it. And you guys all have just experienced what happens in September, October, November, December, right? Oh, I'll buy after Christmas, or I'll do this, or I'll do that, you know. And so it was hard, but I never lost my diamond and just kept pushing and just kept working. So anyway, in February of 2016, I went double diamond and earned more than I ever thought possible in this business. Between me and my husband's paychecks, we were bringing in almost 10 grand. And that was monthly commissions, not including wrap cash, product sales, anything like that. And what happens when you do really well in this business is a lot of people stop working. They forget the reason why they signed. They're making more than they ever have. They change their lifestyle and they quit working. And I was stoked for helping people go Ruby and earn those $500 bonuses. I love this business. And so during this time, I kept working really hard, but lots of people on my team just kind of took a step back and started coasting. And you guys, the only way that you can coast is down. You have to keep fighting for that next promotion. You have to keep going. And that summer of 2016 was the hardest summer ever. Summer is normally our biggest booming time, and everything was gone. Everything was lost. I lost my double. Derek lost his diamond, and I was starting back over at square one in August of 2016 as a diamond leader. And I had to completely rebuild. My double diamond under me canceled her account. Diamonds under me canceled their accounts. My upline went over to a different company. She cross-recruited and took a lot of my girls with her, and just completely destroyed me because I trusted her. I loved her. We had worked so hard together, and she took a lot out from under me. But what's nice about this business is you just keep reaching up. You just keep reaching up. And that's when me and Amber Parker got connected, and we really got to build a relationship with each other and be able to work together, because we really didn't have that relationship before. And so I don't want you guys to ever be afraid to keep reaching up and to get the help that you feel you need. But you've also got to be willing to do the work. So that was really, really hard. And it's probably going to happen again. It just happens. It's just who people are. But what I can stand true and hold for myself is that I work a business with integrity, and I want to lead by example for every single one of you. You guys, I felt like death all night and all day today, but I would never cancel this call because you guys mean too much to me. I was up at 5:45 on the Power Half Hour this morning because this is something that I believe in, and no amount of sickness is ever going to make me give up on myself or give up on you guys, because this just can change so many people's lives. And if I play small, then what's that going to make you guys think? You know, and maybe it's right or wrong. I did a Power Half Hour Christmas morning, and there were 2 of us on, which was awesome. And, you know, we engaged with people and got our work done before Christmas happens. That way we can enjoy Christmas. Like, maybe I take it to the extreme, but I know what I want. And when it's all said and done, I not only want to be at the top of this company, but I want to be at the top of this company as someone who built with integrity and somebody who has led by example that can show you that it is possible by just daily, consistent, hard work. I can't tell you how many times I've rebuilt, how many times people have said that they're going to do something and they don't. I look and see who's on this call, and there were so many people that are like, yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll be there. I message every single person in my downline today, you guys. That's over 500 people I personal messaged to invite them on this call, because that's how much I want it for you guys. And I'm looking here and I see that there are 23 people on here. So I really appreciate you guys. And I know that you guys are my runners going into 2019. It's not convenient to be on these. I know that, but you want something bigger for yourself. And that makes me super excited. So, you guys, a couple of things is, who are you surrounding yourself with? There are a lot of times that you don't even realize what people are saying to you. Has anybody ever said, you don't need to lose weight, you're already too skinny? Has anyone said that to you? Who are they to say that? If you have goals, then you get to hit them. Has anyone ever said to you, you already have enough? Why do you need more? Those are small-minded people. You guys, my husband, for example, this morning when my alarm went off, he goes, how did you sleep? And I said, I slept and had nothing. I didn't sleep at all. I was so sick. And he's like, well, get up, do your power half hour. You can come back and go to bed until CrossFit. Because my own husband is not going to let me play small because he knows what I truly want. So I got up, I did my power half hour. I did a little bit of extra work. I went back to bed. I got up at 8:30. I went to CrossFit and I came back home. Because my husband is not going to let me play small, you guys. And if your husband is tearing you down, or your boyfriend or your wife or your girlfriend is tearing you down and not lifting you up and not helping you hold yourself accountable, then you have got to change that. And I'm not saying change it by doing something drastic. I'm saying you've got to be aware of who you're surrounding yourself with. Because those little things, when someone says, do you really need more? Those eat at you. And it makes you play smaller. I'm listening to Rachel Hollis, Girl Wash Your Face right now, and she just talks about how people say things and it just eats at you, and it makes you play smaller because you don't want to be big. You don't want to be that big person that has big goals that everyone's like, well, you're working too hard and you're staying away from your family too much and you're doing this and you're doing that. You guys, people are so critical of other people, but it's because they're playing small in their own lives. And they don't want to watch other people thrive and do better. I just want you to really consider who you're surrounding yourself with. They say that your income is the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Your income is the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So maybe if you're like me and you're like, okay, cool, that's my husband, which he makes a lot, so that's cool. Beckham and Paisley, they don't make anything, so that drags me down a little bit. But like, I don't surround myself with very many people. But the truth is I do. Who is influencing my life right now? And the majority, like my husband is great, but my other 4 people are not at my level. They're people on my team that I talk to every day. It's who I'm engaging with on Facebook, right? So I got intentional and I made sure that John Maxwell was sending me emails every single morning. He sends me Minute with Maxwell, and it's a minute of leadership qualities. Rachel Hollis sends me emails because I signed up and subscribed to her. I listen to her books. I listen to GoPro. Like, who am I actually surrounding myself with? Who am I listening to? And I want to listen to people who are dreamers and people who are inspired and people who have that fire, like Tay was talking about, lit underneath them all of the time. I don't want to spend my time with people who are talking about how sick they are and people who are talking about how broke they are and how overweight they are, and they are not willing to do anything different. I love it. Today I was adding friends and there was this girl, and on the back of her profile picture, so on that cover photo, it said, be aware of still people that are still broke and still complaining. Don't be one of those people, number one. But don't surround yourself with those people. How many of you message people to sign up on a $20 kit? Then we had it for 2 months almost, a $20 kit. And they said, I don't have $20. And within that 2-month frame, they could not sell something around their house. They couldn't borrow $20. They couldn't babysit. They couldn't shovel a sidewalk. They couldn't do those things because they chose not to. Because they want, like Amber Parker says it all the time. She says, obviously there's something you like about it if you're choosing to still be there. Or maybe it's you're too scared, or maybe it's that you don't know how. Well, you do know how. You just do it. And if it fails, then you do something else. And if it works, then you keep doing it until it doesn't work and you have to tweak it again. Like, it's not rocket science. And I know some of you guys is wise. I know some of the reasons why you joined this business. And it kills me to see you continue to play small and continue to not be consistent. And I hear all the time, and this is some of the messages that I got today, well, my upline isn't helping me. You guys, I have no upline. My upline had no idea what she was doing, so I reached higher, and I got help from that person until that person was no longer part of the business. So then I reached higher, and now I'm reaching even higher than Amber Parker. I'm looking for people who are already successful in this business, and I'm following them, and I'm creating my own way. And that's what you guys have to do. You cannot have this business look like anything else. Brandy Spalding has a life that is totally different than anybody else's. Kelly Jo has a life that's completely different from anybody else's. We cannot live each other's lives. We cannot walk in each other's shoes. But what you can do is you can share your journey along the way, and you can bring people with you, whatever that looks like. You guys need to learn to respect yourself. Respect yourself by keeping the promises that you make. If you say you're going to do something, then you do it, whether you feel like it or not, whether it's convenient or not. And I get that life happens, but you can do it. This is the thing that drives me the most crazy. Oh, I can't do that because. I don't need to hear your justification. I don't need to hear why you're not keeping the promises that you made to yourself or somebody else, because it doesn't matter. Because it's not that you can't, it's that you're choosing not to. If you're saying I can't lose weight because of my family doesn't eat healthy, that's the lamest thing I've ever heard. You get to control what goes in your mouth. You get to control what you do for exercise. If you're saying, well, I can't do this because of this, like, change around your words and say, I'm going to choose not to do this because of this. Because it's true. You're choosing not to do something. It's not that you can't. It's that you just really don't value it. And a lot of times, you guys, is we work for how we feel, not for what we really want. I don't feel good today, so I'm just not going to do it. Well, your market sees that. And you wonder why you're not signing distributors or why you're not signing customers is, number one, are you keeping the promises you made to yourself? And number two, do people even know who you are in this business? We had this team call, 3 or 4 weeks ago, talking about what do you sell? If you're selling it works, you are not going to go very far in this business. You have to sell yourself. I know people on this call that are trying to quit smoking. You sell quitting smoking and you quit smoking, and guess what? Your business is going to boom because you kept that promise that you made to yourself. You brought people along the way with you. You're not just going to wake up one morning and be like, I'm done, I did it, woohoo. People aren't going to trust that. People aren't going to believe it. But if you take them through the good times, the bad times, but you do what you said you're going to do, you are going to build confidence and trust in yourself and in your whole entire market. Value yourself. A lot of times we talk about bringing value. Bring value to Facebook. Bring value to your life. Bring value to other people's lives. But do you even have value in yourself? Do you love yourself? And that's a hard question. And if you don't, then how do you get to that point? And that's where you have to start. So many times we're like, we're not having success in the business. It has nothing to do with the business. It has everything to do with you. And bringing value to yourself and doing things that make you happy. Putting good in so you can get good out. Surrounding yourself by positive people. If you're not happy with your financial situation, finding a way to change it. If you're not happy with your health situation, finding a way to change it. If you're not happy in your relationship, finding a way to change it. You guys, people look at me and Derek's relationship. We got divorced 3 years after being married because we weren't happy. And I said to myself, I can either try and bring a kid into this, thinking that it's going to fix it, or I can do something about it. And I went to counseling for a year and nothing changed. So I made the change. We made the change. We decided we're better off friends, and we got divorced for a full year. And like by some miracle, we started dating again and we got back married, and now we have a great relationship. But you know what? If I would have never done that, I can't tell you where we'd be right now, but I know we wouldn't be in a good spot. You have to value yourself. Whatever that looks like, you have to value yourself. People are going to tell you no. Every single day, people are going to tell you no. I get people messaging me, I'm just so discouraged. Everyone I talk to says no. Well, then talk to more people. You guys get 5,000 friends on Facebook. Find 5,000 people who you want to be friends with, who inspire and uplift you. Find 5,000 people to take along this ride with you. Some of you guys have 200 friends, 500 friends. You've had 300 friends for the last 6 months. Get excited about the new people to bring into your space and bring them into your space. And I want you guys to, since I've just been preaching at you forever because I'm just, and I want to read some of these comments, you guys, I want you guys to go to your Facebook page right now. Go to your Facebook page and ask yourself, number one, do I have a business? Do I have a hobby? Or do people not even know what I do? Just by looking at your posts. Do you actually have a business on Facebook or Instagram, whatever you're using? Do you actually have a business? Or does it look like a hobby? Or is if you are looking as an outsider, people have no clue what you even do. Ask yourself, would you buy from you? Would you buy a product from you? Would you join your own team? We want to know why we're getting so many no's. A lot of the reasons is because we don't value ourselves. We don't show confidence. And that kind of goes back to the beginning of this call when I was telling you about how I wanted to be Kristen's friend so bad, but I literally had zero confidence in myself as a person and as a friend. If you're not signing customers and you're not signing distributors, maybe it's because you don't have confidence in giving them the right product, in taking care of them as a customer, because you don't know how the customer program works. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do that. So learn it. Become confident in it. Use the products. Know how they work. If you're not confident in being a business owner, well, be on these team calls exactly like you're on right now. And you guys, so many of you guys have expertise. Post an Amber's Teamwork Equals Dreamwork post and have your own call and open it up to everyone. Say, hey, I'm going to study Instagram and I'm going to do a team call about it. Anyone who wants to hop on, hop on. Start being a leader now, because you're not going to wake up as a diamond and be a leader. And if you do, because your upline helped you or by some miracle it happens, you're not going to be ready for the responsibility that it's going to take to keep it. Your paycheck will always match your level. Always. And so if your paycheck is not where you want it to be, then you have to level up. And that's what this call is all about. We're going into 2019 and we need to level up. We need to be aware of who we're surrounding ourselves with, what we're doing on a daily basis, and how can we do it better. So I want to know in the chat, and we're almost done, what do you need to be able to sign customers and distributors? Because that's what we get paid on. If you, how do you sign them? What do you need? What do you do? How do you sign customers and distributors? I really love what Brandy said. Find what they need and meet that need. If we're not asking questions, if we're not building relationships, if we don't know what people need, then we're not going to meet that need. And sometimes I don't have what people need. So they go to somebody else, and that is okay. Get to know people, help them find the right products for them, commitment, ideal clients, passion, quality posts, getting more organized. I need to feel more confident and trust yourself, posting, getting to know them. You guys know what to do. But we're being too lazy. We're being too scared to make it happen. I do 6 a.m. power hours every single morning. Kelly Jo does power hours in the evening every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. People aren't on because they say, oh, it's too early. I don't want to wake up. I don't feel good. I don't this, I don't that. I don't do the power hours for you guys. I do them for me. And whether or not anybody is on them, I get 30 minutes before my kids wake up where I get to work my business. And I don't always see immediate results with it, but I have seen results for myself, from other people who've been on them that said, oh my gosh, that power half hour that we did that one day and we made that one post and this and this and this, and it goes back forever in this tangled web of craziness. If they had missed that power half hour, they would have missed that customer. They would have missed that distributor. I'm doing the power half hours because it's how I need to work my business, in 30-minute increments before my kids wake up. It works for me. If it doesn't work for you, then you need to find something that does. And if you're not working, then you're not signing customers. And if you're not finding something that works, then you need to use it until you find something that works. But every single day, I am working my business. And some of you guys work a few times a week. Some of you guys just kind of dibble dabble here and there. But it takes commitment, it takes consistency, and it takes a lot of getting through the no's. I got a message about 75 people before I signed that customer. Every 10 people that I message, I'll probably get 3 yeses, but do those yeses actually go through? Not usually until I get up to my 75 number. Finding a way to stay organized is key. Host posts, giveaways, ask them their goals, offer them the products they need. You guys, building relationship is huge. Okay, 2 things that I want to share, or maybe 2, maybe there's a little bit more. In my book, Rachel Hollis, the chapter that I just listened to this morning talks about how this guy was drowning, and he prays to God and he says, God, help me, I'm drowning. And 3 boats come by, and the guy's like, no, thanks. I'm waiting for God. He's going to help me. The 3 boats go by. And so then he drowns and he dies and he goes to heaven and he says, God, why didn't you save me? And he said, I sent you 3 boats and you refused them all. You guys, how many times do you get an idea in your head and within 5 seconds, your brain shuts it down? You say, I'm not going to do that. That's never going to work. I don't know who I would message. I don't know who I would talk to, or that person's going to tell me no. That is God sending you a life raft. And I think to myself, like all the time when I'm blitzing, when I'm out in public and like I get this feeling that I need to blitz someone and I don't do it. That's me sending my life raft goodbye. That's me not doing what God is offering me. That's not me like acting on my instincts. So I really want to give you guys this first challenge is to act on your instincts. If you get this thought to message someone, if you get this thought to run this group, if you get this thought to do this training, then you do it. Because that is how you are going to level up. If you want to be that leader, then you have to act on what you're doing. And I think, a lot of times is you have to become the leader that you're supposed to be. And if you get discouraged when your team quits on you, if you get discouraged when people say no, then you are not ready to be a Ruby leader. You are not ready to be an Emerald or a Diamond leader if you are getting discouraged at those little things that don't matter. It happens to every single person. God already has our ambassador charts all filled out. We just have to become the person that it's meant to be. And like that has stuck with me ever since I read it. I don't know how long ago. I have my ambassador chart sitting over there on that wall. I don't know if you guys can see it. Derek's pointing to it. And I keep writing people's names in there. And then I keep erasing them because they keep quitting. And all I can think to myself is God already has that filled out. He already has every single name that's going in there. But he's testing me. He's putting an idea in my head. He's giving me somebody to blitz. He's giving me opportunities to have a team call, get opportunities to post, opportunities to message people and add people on Facebook. And if I'm too scared to do that, then I don't deserve to be an Ambassador Diamond. I don't deserve that. I'm not ready for it until I have done the work to become that person and to be that leader and to be that person that those 182 people are going to need. And so here you are, you have this number written down. What person do you need to become to be able to earn that kind of income? What do you need to do on a daily basis to be able to make that kind of income? Because it's not fair for you to say, I'm going to message 5 people when I feel like it, and I want $500. I'm going to work when I feel good, but when I feel crappy and when I feel depressed, I'm going to quit and stop talking to my team and stop talking to my upline. And I'm going to check out until I start to feel better, and then I'm going to work again. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to your team. That's not fair to your market. And then you're mad at your market because they didn't want to sign up as a customer distributor with you when you played small. We have to level up ourselves. We have to be committed. We have to know where we're going and how we're going to get there. And it's going to be hard work. The quote that I wrote on my wall the other day was, if you're sick of starting over, then quit stopping when it gets hard. You ask any successful person if it was hard, and they will tell you it was more hard than it was easy. Every single time. It is hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it. Everyone would be at the top. Everyone would be millionaires. And it doesn't work that way because it is hard. And it's not easy for anybody. We all have our own difficult times. But we have to push through it. And we have to stay connected. And we have to stay as a team. And we have to have our goals. and we've got to work towards them every single day. It's the only way we're going to get where we want to go. And the last thing I wrote on here is, I'm going to get there with or without you. That is your choice. And I hope that every single one of you will go with me to where we're going, but I can't do it for you. Every single person has to do it on their own. They have to become that leader. They have to become that person. And for some of us, we will make it. And for others of us, it may not be right. And it may just be a season, which is fine. It happens. But if you want it, you can have it. And I will do everything in my power to help you get there. So that's just what I want to end this year with, is I want you guys to be crystal clear on where you're going. I don't want you to have another year where you set these goals and you don't reach them because you weren't committed, because you weren't consistent. I don't want 80% of us to be done in February. That's ridiculous. We have got to work 365 days for what we want. Success takes time. So who wants something to add before we close up our last call?
So can I say something?
Yes.
So I know that I put that 20 out of 20, and I think that people have a different perception on goals than I do. So I had a goal to get my son's handicap 2 months, and it took them 6 months to get it done. But you know what? It got done. And so when I set a goal, I start another one right after that one's finished, because we're still living. We still have things that we need to do and to reach before we can start on another one. So if you only had 2 goals for your entire year, you're cutting yourself short. You met way more than 2 goals in 1 year. So I just wanted to say, like, yeah, I had 20 goals and I met them. I finished the Pathway program. I online classes. Those are big goals and I met them. So we need to stop selling ourselves short. We're meeting those goals. Maybe it's not all in 1 year, but it's more than 2. And I don't want to see anybody else think that they're only getting 2 out of 2 goals, because that's.
I love that. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because we do need to celebrate all of the small successes, because that's the only way you get to the big ones. And so I like that Brandy knows. She's like, I set 20 goals. I finished 20 goals, which means that she had them written down and she checked them off. And she knew exactly what she needed to do. And it may not have happened in the time that she wanted, but it still got done. And I think that's really important. And I'm glad that you brought that up. So thank you. I like what Sarah said. She said, my downline had almost all told me that business is slow, but none of them are working daily. And how many of them are on Power Half Hours? And how many of them are on team calls? And how many are posting and messaging on a daily basis? Business is slow because you are slow. Your business is a direct reflection of yourself. And I know that this is maybe hard, and I'm not trying to offend anyone in any way, shape, or form, but I've rebuilt enough times to know that I am ready to level up. And I'm ready to take those leaders that are ready for it too, because I'm sick of being at the same place. And I know a lot of you guys are too, whatever that place is for you.
I want to just say, turn my video on for this. It's late here. But I just want to say that sometimes you guys, it sounds like Tamika is just already there, and you know, it's hard for us to understand that when you put in that effort, you'll get there too. And I just want to throw in, as someone who started my business and then didn't commit because I was fully scared to, and then made that jump to commit. And once I did, I started to move up. And it's because I let myself be intimidated by the things that I was creating in my head. And like Tamika mentioned, at the end of the day, does it affect me if someone says no? A little bit, but is it up to me to continue to work my business and to keep going? Yeah, no one's going to do that for me. And I literally sent Tamika one message and she said, this is my business and this is what I have to do. And that's why I do it. And that totally flipped my train of thought. And I just want you all to be assured that sometimes it sounds like our uplines are already there and they don't understand what we're going through, but they fully do. And once you give into that and let them coach you, you're going to continue to grow and your business is going to boom like crazy. And you just have to give in and stop fighting with yourself. It's all fighting with yourself. You're not fighting with your upline or your schedule or whatever excuse you have. You're fighting with yourself and making you do it, the things that you know you need to do.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to share my journey in depth, because you guys, it hasn't been easy. It's still not easy. And yes, it may look like I'm a double diamond. Woo! But you know what? This means nothing when I don't have diamond leaders underneath me. It means nothing. Like, it means nothing if I don't have a team with me. It's not fun. What's fun is me and Kelly Jo getting to go to Diamond Night in Texas this summer. My first time having a diamond leader with me. It was so special. And she's been in with me for 3 years and we have been through craziness together. She got to experience, our upline poaching our people and destroying our businesses, and how many people would have just quit, would have just given up. Like, that sucks when someone you love and you trust intentionally hurts what you've built. And I have people that quit every single day, you guys. Every single day, almost, I get a message of somebody who is like, it's just not for me. And that's hard, because not only am I dealing with my own life and my own struggles and my own depression and my own this and my own that, I feel like I get to carry all of you guys' with me, which I don't mind, and I want to help you get through it all. But you guys, this is your business, and it starts in your mindset. And like Sarah said, does it hurt when people tell you no? Yeah, a little bit. But what do you do with it? You go message somebody else, because somebody's going to tell you yes. Anybody else?
I just want to say thanks for sharing your journey with us, because I feel like everyone's journey is going to be different, and it's nice to hear other people's struggles, but knowing that everything happens in due time, but we have to be consistent. Like, you moved up a lot really quick, a lot quicker than most people do, and that's because of your level of commitment, and some people are not ready at that level. And so it's okay to not go so quick and to not compare yourself to other people, but to know that as long as you're consistent and you're growing and you're doing your part to expand your business, that you're going to get there too. But sometimes it requires us to grow personally and as a leader, so that when we, like you said, when we are a diamond leader, we actually are a diamond leader and not just like having that title, and I've learned a lot. I haven't been in super long, but I've been in long enough. And I'm like, I think one of the things my husband told me was, of all the businesses you've done and of all the jobs that you've had, I love It Works the most because it makes you grow as a person. And he's like, more than the products, more than the money. He's like, it's just like a really uplifting business. And it's true. Like, it's been nice to use the products and it helps, and it's been cool making extra money and all that, meeting new people. But the main thing is just seeing the growth in myself and finding areas that, like, it's, you sometimes you don't know you have areas that you need to grow until you get to that point, that roadblock, and you push through it. And I've like seen that so much. And there's been times in the last couple of months that I'm like, I just don't want to, and I just don't. And then I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I do want to, and I have to find a way to push myself through it and realize that life goes on. Like, there's going to be a lot of hard times, and there's going to be a lot of crappy situations that you just can't change in your personal life, in the business, just, in general. But you can't give up, because you just can't give up on your life. You can't give up on your kids. You can't give up on your friends, your business, your leaders, your team. Like, you've got to keep going. And so it's helped me a lot to just like see my flaws and work through them, because I know that I'm going to be a better person, and my team is going to be better when I'm that better person too. So.
I love that. And I love what you said. Don't compare your time frame to somebody else's. Your work ethic and how quickly you grow your mind will be how quickly you grow your paycheck. Period. End of story. So you get to decide that pace. But if it's not moving fast enough for you, then that's where you level up. But don't compare what it was like for me and you, because we all have different friends. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different everythings. And so I really like that you said that. And then it's so true. Like, what you push through is going to make you stronger. If you guys haven't listened or read to Last Arrow, he just talks about how your success is on the other side of your pain, and your freedom is on the other side of your fear. And like, you have to walk through those phases in your life of pain and fear and failure in order to get to something greater. You don't just get something greater without going through something first. That's what creates your greatness, is going through those hard times. That's what creates your success, is all of those failures. And so a lot of times we want to quit and give up when we don't see something fast enough, or we don't get the results that we wanted. Well, that's God growing you into something that's bigger and better for yourself. And it's all part of the journey. Julia, did you want to unmute, or anybody else?
I do, but if she wants to go first, she can.
And I don't even care how long this call is. I just feel like we need it. And if you guys got to hop off, you can hop off. But I need this. I need to know what you guys need from me. Like, so that way we can move forward.
Okay, she says she's in the car, so I'll go. Like Tamika said, I've been in 3.5 years almost now. So I don't know, since the not beginning of her business, but since the beginning, I signed up when she was talking about June, like, and her not hitting diamond. That's when I signed up as a customer. And then after I signed up, which I said no for a long time, all the way from, she actually asked me to be a distributor before she ever asked me to be a customer. And she never asked me to be a customer in the first place. She just went straight for distributor. But I told her no from, I bet it was May all the way until October. And then I signed myself up because I wouldn't give her my credit card information. I don't know if she remembers that, but she was so scared I was going to do it the wrong way, probably because she had done it the wrong way. So anyways, it took me 5 months to go diamond. And that felt pretty cool. And when Tamika was talking earlier about sometimes you just get lucky and it just happens, that's kind of what I feel like happened. I tried really hard to be a good leader, but I definitely wasn't always the leader that I should have been. In that summer of 2016, when she talked about how hard it definitely was so hard. And we definitely did lose a lot, but, and then I took a break for a little while. Life kind of hit me hard, and I took a break. I never quit. I was still posting. I was still using the products, but I definitely wasn't working the business like I know that I should be. And then when I finally came back, it only took me 3 months to go diamond the second time. So that was good. And I obviously already had some of it there and the knowledge. But mainly what I want to say is during that time, there has been so many ups and downs. And I do not, like, my mom has always supported me in whatever crazy idea I ever had. So I always have my mom's support. But other than that, no one in the world supported me or agreed with this or thought I should be doing it. Like, I lived in Kemmer, Wyoming, where there was literally, like, it's a little tiny town. There were like 20 other competing distributors, and I didn't know anybody. And my family didn't support me. My family unfriended me. They would talk bad about me at family functions. Like, I had zero support. I'm married now, and it's not that he's not supportive, but he's definitely not supportive. He's not helpful. And so, like, you can do it without having that support system too. Like, you definitely can do it without having that if you believe in yourself. And then if you just ride out the roller coaster, because this summer in Florida, they had an emerald and diamond training thing that I got to go to, and they talked about, and I had never heard them talk about this, and I was glad that they did, that this business isn't always a steady climb up. It's not. Nobody's is. Like, even the top of the company, they've had the dips. Like, it's a roller coaster. Now, how big your dips are that's going to reflect your work ethic. Because obviously if you're working, like your dips might be smaller than like a plunge down. But they said like always plan for those dips, because those dips can be your harvest or your planting season, because then your your climb up is going to be the biggest harvesting season ever. And that's what I've learned, is that I might not be signing anybody. And I'll tell Tamika, like, I'm not signing anybody right now. Like, I'm sorry, I really am working, but it's going to be a really big planting season, because then in 2 months, that harvest is going to be good. And so I know I've been in that planting season, and I know that that harvest is probably coming up within the next couple weeks, because I've been planting. But I'm consistent every single day. And sometimes, like, this time of year is always hard for me. I just got a million like big celebrations in December on top of Christmas. Like, so it's just a crazy time. And I always, between my birthday and like today, struggle with staying consistent. But other than that, like for the rest of the year, I'm consistent every single day. And yesterday I thought, I'm not doing this. Like, this feels yucky. Like, I'm not doing what I need to be doing. I'm not doing the work that I need to be doing. Like, I wasn't messaging people. And how is my business ever going to grow if I'm not going to work? Like, it's like it's like not showing up for your shift at the grocery store. Like, you wouldn't get paid. Duh. So we all know that. Like, if we don't go to work, we don't get paid. So anyways, I'm kind of all over the place. But you've got to plant those seeds, and you've got to just write it out, because it is a roller coaster. But your roller coaster doesn't have to be like a big scary loop-de-loop one. It can just be like a nice little like kid ride if you want it to be, if you do the work and stay consistent. So promise you, everything Tamika said was true, and you've got to be true to yourself. And some of the things that she was saying, I was like, oh, I don't want to hear that. Like, don't say that. You're hurting my heart because you're talking to me. But it's because it's true. And like, I'm not doing those things. I'm not staying true to myself. So stay true to yourself, be consistent, work the business as hard as you want to and as hard as you need to, and you're going to grow to whatever that is. And it's your business. So do what you want with it. And then that's what you're going to get at the end of it.
Love that. Thanks, Kelly Jo. Okay, anybody else?
I feel like I want to say something, but I don't know what hasn't already been said.
Say whatever is on your heart.
I guess for me, it's more like the personal aspect too. Like, don't forget that you're still a human, and there's things that you personally need to do to get there too. Like, besides like the business aspect, like, you have to be ready for it. So like, get your mind right, get your body right, get yourself right, and take that time for yourself too, and the business. Don't just try and do all business and no personal, because it won't work either.
Definitely. Ashley Mayfield always says you have to fix the internal before the external will fix itself. If you don't value yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you're not confident in yourself, it's going to show through when you talk to people, when you post on Facebook. And so if you're not getting the results that you want, then look at yourself. Get yourself some really good books to listen to. If you got books, drop them in the chat. Get yourself some good books to listen to that have helped you. Start making healthy choices. Find an exercise that you like, or a book that you like to read, or cooking, or something that helps you feel more like you. And then share that. Go ahead, Smiley.
I don't know. I think the only thing I can say for everything is just thank you. That's pretty much it. We all have our own different struggles. We all have our own different. Some of us work 2 jobs, some work 3 jobs, some of us work 4 jobs, 5 jobs, and everything. But overall, just like I said, pretty much thank you. A lot of us always needed that extra support, that extra push, the extra motivation to actually get through it. Sometimes even just a simple hello is something that a lot of us might need. And I know it's kind of weird because this past week, I was so used to hearing from either you or Laura, and it's like, man, it feels like I haven't talked to her for years. And it's like, what the heck is going on? Because we're so used to hearing from each other and bugging each other, and the support is always there. And I've only been doing this for 3 months, and it seems like I've grown, I've put up with you all for a lot and for a long time, but it's a good way. But I mean in a good way. And for anyone that's struggling, whether it's just because you need that extra encouragement, look up to the people that sign you up and above you, because they're the ones that are always going to be watching out for you. Tamika said she's going to go by herself, with or without us, but guess what? She can't go without us. She needs us. As much as we need her, she needs us.
Smiley, you don't know my secrets.
We all need each other. We all need each other because we're a whole team. We're a whole team. And like I said, the only thing I can actually say is just thank you, because of everything that me and Linda have been going through, as far as me being the only one that's been working for the last 6 years, I think it is. She hasn't worked for 6 years until I got her into doing this. And I can actually say it's kind of a lot of weight on my shoulders, being the only one that's working, but it's a choice that we both made for her not to work so she can be able to stay home with the kids when things. Close the door, it's cold. My daughter just opened the door right now, right behind me. I just feel like the cold breeze right on my leg. It's like, oh man, that's cold. And anyway, they can hear you. But it's just that simple knowing that someone's right there next to you, not physically, but always there to send you that message, to always know that, you know what, I'm here when you need it. Really, you don't know what code is anyway. But it's always good to get that thank you, and I'm thankful for the whole team that I'm part of. All I know is that whoever's going to conference, you're not going to see for the next 2 days from conference. I'm telling you that right now, because we're going to be partying. So make sure you have your coffee, make sure you have your keto energy, make sure you have your greens, and whatever you're all going to need to stay awake, because it's going to be a blast, guys. So as far as me, guys, like I said, the only thing I can say, and I want to save since this from this, is just thank you. And thank you.
Thank you, Smiley. We love having you. You definitely are a great addition to our pack.
But as far as for me, I got to go to bed because I got to wake up in about an hour to go to work.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else before we hop off? I love these kinds of calls, you guys, and I'm just so excited for what's to come. And I appreciate you guys being on. So going in 5 seconds. And if you guys need something, if you want help with your Facebook, if you want help with messaging, if you want help with this, I will help set you in the right direction and get you what you need. But you have to be committed, because there's nothing worse than me taking 30 minutes out of my day for you to work your business for 2 days and then stop again. I can't continue to have that happening. So if you are committed and you want some one-on-one help, I'm happy to help you work through ideas, what your business can look like, what you need to do to have success. We can definitely do that. You just need to send me a personal message, okay? And Jojo, you got this, girl. All right, you guys, have an awesome night, a good new year. We have power half hours every morning, every evening. Kelly Jo, power half hour on Tuesday night. Let's see. No, Monday night, the 31st. Are you going to do a power half hour on the 31st?
I think I probably will. Yes.
Power
Yeah.
half hours, just like usual, mornings, evenings, look on the PAC document. We'll do the power hour on the 1st, which I think will be perfect. That power hour from 7:30 to 8:30 my time, so whatever time that is for you, or sorry, 8 to 9, not my time on Tuesday, January 1st. Okay. All right, you guys have an awesome night, and I will get this recording up in case you want to send it to any of your teams.